Before the crucifixion, Jesus was arrested in the Garden of Gethsemane. Judas betrayed him, and he was taken before the Jewish authorities and then to the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate. Luke 22 verses 47 to 48. While he was still speaking, a crowd came up, and the man who was called Judas, one of the 12, was leading them. He approached Jesus to kiss him, but Jesus asked him, "Judas, are you betraying the Son of Man with a kiss?" Matthew 27 verse 2, they bound him, led him away, and handed him over to Pilate the governor. Pilate, though finding no fault in Jesus, handed him over to be crucified, yielding to the pressure from the crowd. Matthew 27 verse 24, when Pilate saw that he was getting nowhere, but that instead an uproar was starting, he took water and washed his hands in front of the crowd. "I am innocent of this man's blood," he said. "It is your responsibility." Jesus was mocked by Roman soldiers, beaten, and crowned with thorns as part of the humiliation before his crucifixion. Mark 15 verses 16 to 19, the soldiers led Jesus away into the palace, that is, the praetorium, and called together the whole company of soldiers. They put a purple robe on him, then twisted together a crown of thorns and set it on him. And they began to call out to him, "Hail, King of the Jews!" Again and again they struck him on the head with a staff and spit on him. Jesus was then led to the cross, where he was crucified along with 2 thieves. The Roman soldiers nailed his hands and feet to the cross, and a sign reading, "Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews," was placed above him. Luke 23 verses 33 to 34, when they came to the place called the Skull, they crucified him there, along with the criminals, one on his right, the other on his left. Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." John 19 verse 18, here they crucified him, and with him 2 others, one on each side and Jesus in the middle. During his crucifixion, Jesus spoke several words, showing his suffering and fulfilling prophecy. After about 6 hours on the cross, he gave up his spirit. Matthew 27 verse 50, and when Jesus had cried out again in a loud voice, he gave up his spirit. Mark 15 verses 33 to 34, at noon, darkness came over the whole land until 3 in the afternoon. And at 3 in the afternoon Jesus cried out in a loud voice, "Eloi, Eloi, lema sabachthani," which means, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Jesus' death was not just a historical event, it held deep spiritual significance. It was a sacrifice for the sins of humanity, fulfilling God's plan of redemption. John 3 verse 16, "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life." Isaiah 53 verse 5, "But he was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our iniquities, the punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds, we are healed." After Jesus died, he was buried in a tomb. 3 days later, he rose from the dead, proving his victory over sin and death. Matthew 27 verses 59 to 60, Joseph took the body, wrapped it in a clean linen cloth, and placed it in his own new tomb that he had cut out of the rock. He rolled a big stone in front of the entrance to the tomb and went away. Matthew 28 verses 5 to 6, the angel said to the women, "Do not be afraid, for I know that you are looking for Jesus, who was crucified. He is not here, he has risen, just as he said." Thank you for watching.